everybody. Welcome back to Genesis 12. Let's jump back in. Genesis 12. Abram journeys to Egypt. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and so you shall be a blessing, and I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse, and in you all the families of the earth will be blessed." So Abram went forth as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. Now Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Abram took Sarah his wife, and Lot his nephew, and all their possessions which they had accumulated, and the persons which they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Thus they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. Now the Canaanite was then in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain of the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai to the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. Abraham journeyed on, continuing toward Negev. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was severe in the land. It came about when he came near to Egypt that he said to Sarah his wife, "See now, I know that you are a beautiful woman, and when the Egyptians see you, they will say, 'This is his wife,' and they will kill me, but they will let you live. Please say that you are my sister, so that it may go well with me because of you, and that I may live on account of you." It came about when Abram came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that the woman was very beautiful. Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her to Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. Therefore he treated Abram well for her sake, and gave him sheep and oxen and donkeys and male and female servants, and female donkeys and camels. But the Lord struck Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarah, Abram's wife. Then Pharaoh called to Abram and said, "What is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Now then, here is your wife, take her and go." Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they escorted him away with his wife and all that belonged to them. And that concludes chapter 12. Okay, let's go inside the text. There's a spot in here that I wanted to point out that it showed. Let's see, we'll start with verse 3, and it says, "I will bless those who bless you. The one who curses you, I will curse." Those who curse Abram and his descendants are those who treat him lightly, despise him, or treat him with contempt. God's curse for such lack of respect and disdain was to involve the most harsh of divine judgments. The opposite was to be true for those who bless his people. In you all the families of the earth will be blessed. Paul later on identifies these words, the gospel beforehand, to Abram. If we look inside the verses of when it shows, what else we have coming here is where Abram came into Egypt, and we've got another lesson that's here. Abram comes into Egypt, and in a way that it would only be because he thought he would be killed in fear of his life. Okay, so up at this point, Abram's being led by God. Okay, now he's being led there for a reason. Now Abram told Sarah, his wife, that because she was very beautiful, that he feared that because she was beautiful, that the Pharaoh would take her and kill him if he knew they were married. So he told her to pose as his sister. We see it every time anyone strays from God's command or disbelief in God's protection, there's consequences. So we see at this point, he journeyed through and toward Negev. He was talking about the Egyptian, but it had plagues of Sarah. So there was plagues that fell upon Egypt because of what Abram had done. They fell upon them because the Pharaoh had said, "This is your sister. Well, I'm going to take her for one of my wives," which essentially means that he would sleep with her. And in this became tainted, and then the plagues fell upon them because of this. And at this point at the back end, it makes Pharaoh look wiser than Abram, because Pharaoh is, "Why have you done this to me? You've caused this to fall on my house because you told me this was your sister when this is your wife." So he had his people escort Abram and Sarah and all their stuff out of Egypt. And that is most all that's in this chapter. So we see again, if there's any straying from God's word and what God commands, there's a price to pay for it. There's going to be a result of it. And that concludes chapter 12. And hope to see you come back for Genesis chapter 13.